Hi, how are you, my friends? I hope everyone is safe and well. This is, of course, Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hello, my friends. How are you? We already have a very interesting layout here, but before I talk about your cards that are already here on the table because I pulled them in the pre-shuffle, I would like to say, if you would like to win the 40 minute, by the way, no longer 20 minute, but 40 minute free private reading, check out the community tab. Its value of the private reading is 150 US dollars. So find out how you can enter into the competition, not competition, but into the draw, and go to the community tab of my channel. All right, that's it. Also for your extended, because this is like a full reading here over on YouTube, but if you would like to know more about blockages or where this whole journey is taking you and how you can resolve the blockages and what else is to come for you on your specific journey, just head over to your extended. That's what they're for. And there are 3 platforms. We have a new one, which is Ribbon. Hang on, I need to adjust. It's kind of bugging me. I thought I could do it, but I can't. Better. Ribbon, Vimeo, and Patreon. And I'll explain everything at the end, which platform is for what. But if you're interested, those are your options. All right, let's hop in. Right off the bat, you have Center, which I thought was so beautiful. And I immediately, my eyes were drawn to the chains. And of course, chains notice something, or denote to something that is holding you back, actually, but no longer in this picture, because she's actually using the chains to enhance her beauty, as decorative art of some sort around her, which is amazing. Oh, I'm so sorry, Leo. I have to do this here. I am so sorry. Oh, come on. Here we go. So, adjusting of camera, battery charging, and everything, because I have the cable there already, because I know the battery is low, but I forgot to plug it in again as I took the pictures for Cancer. So anyways, where was I? The chains, yeah. And in your case, you use them to enhance your beauty. So past hurts are turned around and transformed into something utterly beautiful that actually make you more beautiful, make you more of who you are, because you went through them, you transformed them. And that is really gorgeous. And I'm going to read the whole thing to you because I thought it was so fitting. Also, we have the 4 directions happening here. See that? North, east, south, west, or if you're talking about which each of those represents fire, earth, air, and water, right? Yeah, all of those, and those are represented, so that's really strong. And yeah, we'll see. I'm reminded of the world and also the Magician card, of how you are the one that is turning things around. And this card, the Center card, denotes to you're very, very close to something that you wanted to achieve. So I'm going to read that one to you. The earthly meaning here is: do not confuse selfishness with self-centering. Bring your well-being, your values, your future, and your loves to the center of your world. Break the hold of objects, habits, or relationship that insist you revolve around their needs and demands. Being centered makes you stronger and more balanced, and disturbances are less likely to knock you off course. Extend your positive sphere of influence. Let go of fixed expectations and time frames. Try to be patient, flexible, adaptable, and open-minded. You are well on the way to arriving at your heart's desire. An invisible force gently pushes and pulls you toward your true center. Let go and let it flow. It has been a long journey, but the destination is so much closer than you think. Don't we all love that? Don't we love that? And I would like to read the last paragraph here too, because I find it very fitting. The influence of this timeless, invisible force has been observed and studied by the greatest of minds since Aristotle sought to explain gravitas in the 4th century BCE. Gravity draws planets to suns, moons to planets, and the life-giving atmosphere to our Earth. Within our complex galaxy, there are many centers of gravity. The same is true for all complex beings. You included, Leo. We come into this world with love at our center, but disturbances can knock us from our orbit. When this happens, our immediate center of gravity shifts and we can settle into orbit around all manner of people, values, and expectations. But love is the brightly burning sun at the true center of your world, and its invisible pull brings you ever closer to its glorious light. Yes, and that at that point I knew Leo and Cancer were connected, because that's precisely like Cancer. Check out Instagram if you wish. Link in the comment section below, because Cancer had it's extended the sun card right here, and they made me hold it, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with it, right? So that was really, really cool and highly successful, of course, with the sun. All right, we have inner child here, and we have compassion from the guardian angel cards, and the other ones, the opposing forces here, because that's what I feel this is. It's like an opposing force here. You have something that's happening, but also a remedy that are all inside of you, both of them, right? So the blessing and no, the how do you say, the cure, the illness and the cure alike. Yeah, inner child. Nurture your inner child and begin to express the awesome beauty you hold within you. We live in a world where a formula exists for everything, yet love and creativity have no formula. They do not need to be studied, simply nurtured. Regularly set aside some time to just play. And this is very important, because it brings you back to your natural course, right? And I'm feeling like some sort of it needs to happen now, that kind of a feeling. That's the vibe I'm getting here from your reading. It needs to happen now, but you're closer than you think. So if you've been on this long journey here, Leo, and you just want to make it to the finish line, right, so to speak, we're tend to get in the habit of pushing, but that's kind of like the opposite of what needs to happen. It's in the realms of really let it go and let it flow, right? Much like you just heard. And the inner child is reminding you of just that, of come back to your natural center and to just play and really like take the time to do so, because it's important. Take the time to meditate, even if it's for 5 minutes, but dedicate yourself to yourself, right? Yeah, all right. We're going to use the Astara Tarot and see what comes out for you here, my friends. Ooh, the devil. Yeah. Yeah, the addiction and then the remedy for it, though. Yeah. Sorry, I'm meant to show you the Four of Cups. Four of Cups. Interesting with the bunny. No. But they came out again. Those were Cancer's cards. Ha! Yes! Ace of Wands. Fighting. Like you've been fighting, Leo. Hardcore fighting. Yeah. And the Five of Swords. You've been hardcore fighting here. Definitely. Like these aren't the way this came about. It was so innocent, your reading, right? And this one seemed so centered indeed that you couldn't really tell the cards that were about to come out, what was really going on. And again, my connotation to you, if this resonates with you, I strongly recommend having a look at Cancer as well. And I hope this is the last time I'm going to have to say it. They're just reminding me of it. So I'm going to pass it on to you. It seems to be important. And I know it is, because I just did the reading and I know what's in it. So, yeah, it's really like coming along like this. Nobody or hardly anyone knows what you've really been through and how much you've accomplished here, Leo, for yourself, and what you may still be experiencing somewhat, but you're about to break through it, out of it, like strong, like this is a strong push, like out of it, all of it, almost like all of a sudden kind of a thing. So let's start here with the Devil card. This one is also about your relationships, the one you hold, and the one that keeps you in cage. So this is why it was so important that they wanted me to read the last portion, because you get knocked off course and then you start to circle around other people possibly, because you're in their gravitational field. But when you start to come back to center, to that sun, to that brightness, that's where you need to go. And that may mean you may have had to leave certain relationships with friends or even with family behind because they weren't working for where you're going. That doesn't mean they will never be able to be in your life again. It can mean that, but it doesn't have to, right? Or this is something that you're currently experiencing. But these are all in the realm of unhealthy attachments. There may even addictions be coming up here for you as well. You know, and when I'm saying addiction, of course, that can be alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, whatever, right? But I'm also talking about anything that numbs the pain, right? So that can be eating, that can be, I don't know, binge watching something like for a week or something. Anything that you use to self-medicate, really, to numb the pain because you don't want to feel it. But there is a necessity also for you to really tap into things. And it's interesting that my candle just went out because of the smoke. And I was actually going to open your reading by saying, is there someone that needs to smudge themselves? Or do you want me to smudge you, kind of a thing? But there's a necessity to do it yourself. But there was a lot of smudge here before I started your reading. I just forgot to mention it. And we have the bunny rabbit. I'll show you how that's significant because, again, that's the remedy here too. See? You have the problem, but then right down here you have the bunny rabbit, which reoccurs over here as well on the cup, and she's holding it, right? So it's really in her hands. She holds it already. She's not realizing it though. You're not realizing it currently, and she even wears a bunny mask. Do you see this? This is so cool. So it's much like I'm getting Alice in Wonderland vibes here, because you know how she has those little potions that she drinks from, so she has everything she needs. Of course she has to transform in the process, and it can be an arduous journey, but she's still making it, and she's enriched for the experience. This is following the rabbit all the way down the rabbit hole. Holy crap. Yeah, and that's quite the journey, and of discoveries of things you never thought possible, or that just completely blew your mind here, Leo, or sides of yourself that weren't so comfortable to look at, but you did it anyways. And there is still a little thing that keeps you stuck here, like I said, but the interesting thing again, and that's what I felt even before we started out the reading, that you yourself hold the remedy. So this is also in the realms. Spirit would not give you this right now if you weren't ready to take it on, if you weren't ready to really tackle the issue and to turn it around, right? Yeah, there's more bunny rabbits on the cups here. Interesting. And there's another one that's offered to you. Huh, interesting. Often that's spirit or someone who's actually, in my other deck, it's a child offering that, and we do have right above the inner child. So there's something that's like, hey, let's go play, and you're just like, no. It's almost also a little bit of defensiveness of, I don't want to right now. You know, everything that your guides or maybe life people have presented to me is just not, I'm just not interested anymore, that kind of a thing. It's just like, I'm doing me, I'm here with my pet, and we're good, you know? Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Because Spirit keeps pushing you until you actually do what you need to do here. And those of you who are on a spiritual journey, you know what I'm talking about. There's not much way around it. You go through it, and as uncomfortable as it may be, but you already know that it's just a certain time or a period right now where you're just like, nah, I'm like sick of it, possibly sick of all of that. No thank you. I'm not doing it. But then you take heart, you take courage, much like we know Leos can really be like that fiery power element, and you're really breaking free and breaking out of it. And it's just like, yes, I did it, I made it. And you're coming back into the orbit of the sun, like we heard, and you're coming back to center here. And this is where it's kind of calm. Those of you that know what that feels like, you know, in meditation, when you really tap into yourself and into that inner peace, because it looks so, you know, so fiery, so, oh, there's a lot going on, and then all of a sudden you break through, and it's just like, it's much like weightlessness in outer space. That's what I'm feeling with this. It's interesting that this card is here, though, because I think your perception may be changing a lot, because this card with the Five of Swords, it doesn't faze you so much anymore. Very interesting, because again we have the same, you know, the snake holds the poison but also the remedy. It's the dosage that makes it. And this is of course in the realm of thoughts. To me it feels like I want to really look underneath that guardian angel card that I can't see because it's turned upside down. Yeah, you have the positive outcome. Yeah, positive outcome. Let me read that first. At this very moment, you are sowing the seeds of your future through your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes. Oh, yeah. Whether through love, fear, or indifference, you're always creating something. So remember to keep your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. Sorry, Leo. Attitudes positive, and you will create a positive outcome. Yeah, and of course, when you're in that stance, you're fully allowed. You have my full permission if you even need that or want it. To be in that state. It's just spirit saying, hey, you just got to be aware also that if you stay in that attitude, it's not going to serve you. Okay, so this is what I mean by spirit has awesome ways to just nudge us in a certain direction, right? Because we can be like that all day long, much like a child, like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then it's just like, it's much like, I'm not brushing my teeth today. No, I have to do it every day. I'm sick of it. I'm no longer doing it. And the moment you're not enforcing that on the child necessarily, but you're making it clear, okay, have a look, right? Have a look. If you don't brush your teeth, you may get what's it called, you know, like holes in your teeth and stuff like that, and then we have to go to the dentist. When you really explain that to your children like that, most likely they will start to brush really quickly because they're just like, no, I don't want that. And I'm just like, yeah. And you have to do that. And it's kind of like that conversation that needs to happen internally, though, because no one can really convince you to do it unless you're the one that is doing that to yourself, that is doing the explaining here. But again, also, I feel it does have to do with the inner child, because the moment you tap into that playful nature a lot more here, Leo, that's when the child is starting to, you know, there's not that much pressure anymore. It's not like, I'm going to force you to do it, because the inner child's just like, okay, fuck you. I don't want to do it anymore. Of course, not in these words. But, you know, like, it's just like, I'm sick of it and I want to do it. So you need to bring in that playful nature here a little bit more, because you are so close, Leo. You're so, so close to none of this phasing you anymore. I feel like there's a huge leap, a huge breakthrough. This often happens when you're starting to, you know, step out of one thing and start a new thing completely. This is often when shifts in perception actually happen and things are no longer the same for you. It just doesn't face you anymore like that. This again often happens when you've been through quite a bit and you become so strong. It's crazy. It's really crazy. And that's what I see here, that all the other stuff is just peanuts. You're just like, oh, I survived. You may have even survived like a lot of like traumatic experiences in your life, Leo, and you're still standing strong, really strong. All right, let me draw you an angels and ancestors card here. I will attach, by the way, yes, I will attach a little sequence so you can have a look at your extended, like what the video is about, a little sequence right after this video. So stay tuned, stay on board, and have a look if you're interested. And you can follow us over, of course, to Vimeo, Ribbon, or Patreon for your extended if you would like to know more about the situation, find out about possible blocks, where this is taking you, why this is not phasing you anymore, and such. We'll see what Spirit wants to give us. And Vimeo and Patreon are for single extendeds, and Patreon is for a lot more. Check them out and see which one fits you best. You have the Knight, be brave and honest. I love that one. Yeah, it's just that fighter. It has that fighter spirit, or he does, but he's also resting within himself and being in touch with the feminine also, not just with the masculine. So, the Knight. Here we go. Be brave and honest. Do the right thing, even if it isn't the easiest option. Stand for what you know to be right and true. The Knight is a knight in shining armor, dedicated to the crown, that is sword defense, in This sense, he is a protector of the Holy Grail and therefore of your spiritual growth and expansion. He represents the warrior in you, whether you are male or female. That energy is within you. His sword and armor show he is courageous and strong, but if you look closely, you will see he has a tear running down his face, showing his willingness to be vulnerable and his love for what he protects. The energy of respect is important right now. You are being encouraged to figure out what is important to you and what you stand for. If you are in a space where there is opposition, you are being guided to follow through with integrity, because even if it seems this will slow your progress, your rewards will be much more abundant. You're being surrounded by a light of bravery to help you. This card also brings justice. If you are longing for justice, please know that the universal energies are working to bring everything back into order, and that you don't need to force anything through with your will. Yeah, less pushing, right? If you have made any mistakes recently, it's important to take ownership of them and that you can align yourself with improving the situation. Very reminded of the Four of Cups card here, like that attitude a little bit. Yeah. And that's okay. If you are feeling the need to defend your spiritual path at this time, back down and let it protect you. Yep. Okay, cool. I'll leave that card right here and take it over to the extended. Like I said, all the links down below in the description box, as well as the comment section, and stay tuned for that extended part, that short, so you can have a little preview. All right, my friends, much love, light, and shadow to you. Bye. But the others can step up and see what this is like to shine your light like this. It's important. It's an important leadership position, right? Very important. And here we have the inner child. The Five of Stones with endurance. Yes, you've been through a lot. Oh my God. And possibly also growing up here, Leo. That in some cases really, really wasn't easy at all. And that's still what they said with the center card, but also what the devil represents here. That knocked you off course, whatever has happened most likely in your childhood here, Leo, because it leads directly to being caged in adulthood as well, and to still be kind of abandoned. And that is tied into being like, no, I don't want to do this. They are together here. They're pulling on one string. So